first off, we're going to swing because Bloodghast will not have haste. It doesn't matter if I do this pre or post combat. What I'm going to do here is discard both of my Bloodghasts because I really need to get ahead of their hate still. Because next turn they're very likely to cast something to exile or get rid of the graveyard. Going to then do that, trigger all 3 of my Bloodghasts, which will trigger the other Price Amalgam as well. And unless they remove the entire battlefield with 3 mana, they are dead this turn. And that's good for us. Gross turn. That was turn 3. That was turn 3. Historic metagame. There's that hate we were talking about. What's up, everyone? It's Bracket Attack back again with another historic deck. Now, this historic deck actually was the deck that got me to Mythic and to top. I think I'm still top 1,000 right now. I'm trying to qualify this month, and this deck I really, really enjoy playing. It's a deck that reminds me of Modern back in like 2017. Now, if you're not familiar with what Dredge did, Dredge basically got cards into your graveyard. Instead of drawing, you would dredge a card from your graveyard, which stated dredge X amount of cards. So you would just grab that card out of the graveyard and then put however many cards it said to dredge from the top of your library into your graveyard. So drawing kind of was, you weren't drawing from your deck often, you were drawing from your graveyard most of the time in the conventional dredge decks. Now this is Dredgeless Dredge. So I don't have any dredge cards. No dredge cards have actually been brought into Magic Arena, thankfully, because it's fucking broken. But this deck is very, it resembles the old dredge feeling very much. So I'll get into it, but essentially what we're trying to do in this deck is fill our graveyard up and just race the opponent to where I'm flooding the battlefield with so much damage and so many bodies that they can't keep up. This deck has always been susceptible to hate in the sense of graveyard hate, unlicensed hearse, or Leyline of the Void. Grafdigger's Cage is also pretty good. This deck is so on turn 2 it can have 12 power on board very consistently. We bring in a lot of anti-sideboard cards in our sideboard for game 2 and 3. So we are bringing in Haywire Mites to fight opposing Leyline of the Voids, or opposing Grafdigger's Cages, or opposing Stone of Arages. We're bringing Pithing Needle in to fight Skoos, because Skoos is so fucking annoying right now. Skoos, I don't have any removal. So Skoos just sits there and eats my cards. I have nothing to actually answer Skoos to get it off the battlefield. So Skoos is actually, I think, one of my bigger sideboard cards that just eats me alive, because it gains them life. It eats everything out of your graveyard, so it grows larger, and then applies pressure, and I can't get rid of it. So it's all these things combined. A Progenitus is even now in the format. Skoos, Leyline of the Void, Unlicensed Hearth. I mean, there's a lot of cards that fight this deck, but you really got to bring it into and draw it in your opening hand to race me. I'm going to race every game, and if I don't, and I'm playing off my back heel and I'm taking it slower, it's usually because I want to hold a piece of anti-hate in my hand, and I'm just waiting for them to play their hate card so that I can rebuild and not commit all in, and then they just eat my graveyard at one time. So Otherworldly Gaze, very important card in this deck. It fixes your draws, it fuels your graveyard, it's a 1-drop, it has flashback, it has everything you want it to have, and it's castable by Founding the Third Path. This is very good when you're trying to fix your draws later. Very important that you're drawing into your engine cards and not your cards that you want in your graveyard. Your engine cards are Glimpse the Unthinkable, Grisly Salvage. Those 2 cards are your most important cards to start filling your graveyard up. Same thing with Founding the Third Path. It's not that bad if you have a Glimpse already in your graveyard for its 3rd ability, or you can just mill yourself 4. It's still, I mean, it's not that good, but it's not the worst. Stitcher Supplier is another one of those engine cards. Depending on the board state, you can leave that on the top of the for your next draw step. With Otherworldly Gaze, it's very important that you fix it. Later in the game, Otherworldly can be in your graveyard, and you can post draw step, you can cast Otherworldly, fix your draw to a land on top, draw the land, play the land, trigger your Bloodghasts, so you make sure that you're able to trigger something out of your graveyard. So very important to have, I think, 4 of Otherworldly Gazes. It's just a overall like the engine card, and it's an early start to, it's one of the few 1-drops we have available to us. Stitcher Supplier, another great card. Seen this in all the formats that require graveyard strategies. It's a great chump blocker. It can ping some damage if they're not doing anything to it, but it starts feeling your graveyard. It dies, it feels it more, and it can apply that little bit of pressure that you might need. You usually want this to die but it's a great blocker. You just swing in. If they block it, it's still good. Founding in the third path basically combos with everything in this deck. All the spells that I have other than Creeping Chill are 1 or 2 mana less or value, so it casts those spells for free. It can read ahead if I don't have an instant or sorcery in hand, and then I mill myself 4 right away. And then its third ability, I can Glimpse or Grizzly, usually is what I want to be doing with its third ability out of my graveyard already. So it continues to fill the graveyard up. Archamoeba, core card in any Dredge-centric deck. It has to be, I think, in the main deck because it triggers your Prize Amalgams. It applies pressure in the air. It's an evasive pressure. Very, very important. I bring it out sometimes against Bowmasters because Bowmasters eats it alive. But it's still good to have a 1, 2, 3 of, just to trigger your Prize Amalgams, which are your core threat in this deck. Bloodghast, I think Bloodghast is what makes this deck possible with Historic Anthologies. Anthologies just dropped, so Bloodghast was in that most recent Historic Anthologies drop, I think, last week, something like that. And so I think that is what pushes this deck into Tier 1 status because it really needed that extra pressure, that extra threat, and another ability to trigger Prize Amalgam. Bloodghast is a pain in the ass to get rid of because it's recurring every time with these lands. And with Otherworldly Gaze, Grizzly Salvage, you can get a land consistently. So Bloodghast is, I think, the reason this deck is now pushed into the better decks. Glimpse the Unthinkable, great card, not typically seen in Dredge decks, but very important for this style of deck. It mills you 10 cards. All it does, it can be recast with Founding's third ability. Very, very good card. It usually hits something that's relevant to allow you to start filling or to start applying pressure on the battlefield. What you want to be doing turn 2 is Glimpse, or you want to be founding into Glimpse. And Grizzly's like the second option. So that's your core turn 2 play, is usually founding into Glimpse or just casting Glimpse. Grizzly Salvage is seen in a lot of Barhelion decks. It's a great card. It's a common, so it's very easy to get with wild cards. It just states put 5 cards in your graveyard. You can choose a land or creature out of those cards and put it in your hand. Typically, you're choosing a land. If you're choosing a creature, it's usually Stitcher Supplier. Or it's in some rare case where you want to hard cast a creature because you just need to continue to apply pressure, and that's all you can do. You want to grab a creature, hard cast a creature. It's okay in that situation too. What's really good about Grizzly Salvage that I've realized is when it goes into game 2, Haywire Might becomes a great target for Grizzly Salvage, and it gets around Hate because it looks at him first, takes it, and then puts it in the graveyard, so it never actually hits the graveyard and then exits. So you can actually always get value out of this card even around Hate. So definitely love it. Just usually game 2 it's better because it can grab that card that you really want. Silver Smoke Ghoul, a little bit of a newer card in Dredge, not typical in Dredge again. I think I've seen some variants where it runs a few copies of it because Creeping Chill is mandatory in Dredge. It's so good. It's so good. It gets around pretty much everything. It's cast for free. Its life gains a 6-point swing. You don't want to be drawing it, but if you do, you can still pass it for 4. I've done that a lot and actually trigger your Silver Smokes out of your graveyard just by hard casting Creeping Chill. Creeping Chill is essential for up in this deck. Sometimes it comes out during the sideboard matches, but most of the time I'm always keeping it in there. Prize Amalgam, again, mandatory 4 of all times, never comes out. Never sideboard out Prize Amalgam. It's always in the deck. The critical element pressure piece 3/3 for free. Essentially, you want a couple of these out by turn 2 or 3, or you're going to be behind. But this is the deck. This is the card that makes this deck powerful. Haunted Dead is I was running one of. I just added a second one over a third Founding Path. I feel like I like having Haunted Dead in my graveyard. I can cast it on their turn. I can get rid of Prize Amalgams in my hand. I can get rid of Smotes in my hand, and then I can trigger them the same turn. Let's say I discard 2 Prize Amalgams to my Haunted Dead. My Haunted Dead triggers the Prize Amalgams I just discarded. So the synergy there is very, very good. So I've added a second one because I don't see the first one enough to make me feel like I can consistently use it to get shit out of my hand that I don't want. So lands, I don't know. The land base, you could be fucked with. You could go either way. I'm actually out of some rare cards. I don't have as many rare cards as I want. I think I have a couple more now, but I would typically run 4, probably Dark Slick Shores here. But I don't have 4. I only have the 2 that are in my deck. So unfortunately, it's just the way it goes sometimes. Other than that, Sideboard, Haywire Might answers all the the hate that's coming in to fight my deck. It's targetable by Grizzly Salvage. Very, very good card overall. It's got an I forget what they call it, where they do an update just for Arena and not Paper. It's been changed for Arena, and that states that it exiles now. Very important against One Ring. Very important against a lot of things, but mostly One Ring. It exiles One Ring. It can kill it. It can get it off the battlefield. Like it. It also triggers Silver Smoke goals. So when it dies, that 3 life triggers Silver Smoke. So there's synergy there. Haywire Might is extremely fucking good right now. It's like a $3 uncommon in Paper. It's very good. And even I've seen a main board because One Ring is so prevalent. Haywire Might has become a main boardable card. And I've seen it main board in a lot of strategies, specifically Yawgmoth. But I do see Haywire Might a lot. Just out of the first, in the first game. Pithing Needle answers Scoos. It answers the cards that I really want to have some interaction for, because I don't have removal, like Kethis or One Ring or Yawgmoth. Pithing Needle answers all of those really nuisance decks, and I think I'm going to bring in a third Pithing Needle over a third Ancient Grudge here soon. I think Ancient Grudge was intended to fight the Retrofitter decks and Kethis and things like that. I haven't seen it as much as I thought, so I'm going to probably cut one of these back, add a third Pithing Needle to answer Yawgmoth and Scoos, which is very, very popular right now. Unlicensed Hearse kind of fights the mirror. It can fight a Scoos as well, because if Scoos target something, I'm just going to target in return, grow my Hearse bigger than their Scoos, and be able to pressure them with a Hearse. So it's another angle of attack that I can kind of slow roll the game with a Hearse, and eventually gets big enough to where I can pressure a lot. All right, on Lilan of the Void, another incredible card in the format right now. I mean, it fights the mirror, it fights Yawgmoth, it fights Kethis, it fights a lot of decks right now that really rely on the graveyard. Lilan of the Void shuts down some decks completely out to where if they don't have an answer, there's Dirtling. I'm running 4 of. It's hard castable, but usually I want it in my opening hand. Island is for any Field of Ruin decks. I see Field of Ruin decks a lot. So Island comes in if I see like a mono black Field of Ruin deck. So that is the deck. Again, hit that follow button, subscribe to my YouTube, come join me on Kick to watch me live at BrackAttackG. I appreciate it. I think I want to do that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's not the worst. It could be worse. But they're going to take Grizzly. Nah, yeah. They should have taken Founding, but people don't know that. So unless they have another Thoughtseize, which is very well may have. Mono black. Do this a lot. You know what? That's okay. This card against me could be worse. See if I hit something. Ah, Narcomoeba. That's good. I need a Creeping Chill. That's really what I need. Instead of Creeping Chill, I'm going to target Grizzly Salvage. So fucking annoying. These decks that know that I don't run basics. Okay, at least I get to shuffle my graveyard. This is why we have an island in the sideboard to run it against specifically because of this deck. Alright. Luckily I had another land, and maybe Glimpse has got to hit big here because they're going to start taking over. Okay, so that did hit pretty nicely. An Narcomoeba, Creeping Chill, so I trigger my smokes, I trigger my amalgam. 2 smokes, 1 amalgam. That's pressure, pretty good pressure. Okay. Nice. Now they thought that Fatal Push was gonna hit, but did not. I could have held Bloodghast back, but I kind of just want to continue to cast my hand out. Nice. All right, even though they wastelanded me, they wastelanded me, but Field of Ruin themselves. I'm gonna listen to them. They still got beat by 2 lands. All we need in this deck. But A lot of times we only draw one lander or the two wrong lands. So, all right, mono black. Island's going in. Underground River's coming out. 2 hearses potentially. Haywire might. That's about it. Maybe Haywire might answers their one rings. It answers their hate. So I think it's going to be good enough. And they have Bowmasters, which really blows. Bowmasters eats my deck alive, unfortunately. I mean, I can recur it, but it's just frustrating when they can just Bowmasters, shoot one smote, chump another smote, just with a 2 mana. So I usually take out some of these 1 toughness creatures against this deck. I think it's good enough. Sometimes Hearse is okay. They have too much removal though. I mean, it gets big because they are casting a lot of cheap spells. And it helps, you know, just have more pressure on the board. It's just not good enough, I think, in this matchup. I think really all we want to do is fight their ley lines and fight their one rings. That's the 2 cards that we don't want to see. Two Otherworldlies and opening hand will be good enough. Now the question is, do they have ley line? You're gonna slam it? They might. No, they don't. Nice. Okay, that's good for us. All right. Yeah. Take it all. Put it all in there. All right. Now we gotta. Hopefully they don't fucking hit a hate piece now. Don't cage me, bro. If they do, I'm gonna put a stop. Okay, well, they Orcish early, which is actually okay for us. Unless they have another Orcish in hand, but usually you should just do that when I actually go to do something. Or when I actually cast a creature. All right, so I'm gonna draw into Glimpse. Do this. It's fine. Okay. Then they should have casted, or they should have cast Bowmasters. Then killed Bloodghast there. Then they'd get better value out of Bowmasters rather than just 1 damage to me. Hey, guess what, dude? I brought in an island. Fuck yourself. Nice. Didn't expect that, did ya? Did ya? Okay, we're going for it. We're gonna swing. Opponent's like, oh my god, they have a basic now. Duh. But what I have in my graveyard? I think I want to Otherworldly right now. Sure. I kind of want to Might. I think they're going to bring in some form of hate against me. Sure. Okay. For watching the stream, thanks. Nightbird, I know you joined early. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Soul, you're still around. Thanks for the new following. That's annoying. Sure. Swing. Okay, didn't think so. We're gonna wait to cast Haywire. We want to wait to see some hate. We don't really care to show it now. We're gonna do this. Okay. Smoke. Let's see again. It just feels really bad when you cast 3 mana and then they Orcish Bowmaster for Smoke. Okay, so this is fine. Knew that was coming. Now the only issue with this is they have protection this turn, so I can't do any damage. Okay, they're gonna kill or take Haywire. God damn it. What a freaking draw. What a freaking draw. Well, let's see what they do. Got a lot of pressure. They can wipe the board. Somehow. Oh, there's a card that does it. A couple cards that do it, actually. Draw, so they don't have Shielded in hand. That's really good for us, because that's 12 life. There's their Shielded. They drew it late. Oh, that's good. They gain 6. And they don't. Man, that's frustrating, huh? They're gonna they sign and blood me. I need a blocker. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they have to block either Prized or Smote. Probably block. Sure. I don't have 4 black sources, so I'm gonna cast 1 blood gas this turn. I mean, that's lethal. Presenting lethal, they have to block. I don't know why they wouldn't. Shielded safe. Frustrated to do that Thoughtseize. Shielded Thoughtseize, and they had my answer, the One Ring. Brutal, 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 brutal. I might sack Smote next at the end of their turn, depending on what they do. It's those mono black decks that all they care about is getting a Shielded One Ring into play, so they could just continue to get live. Probably gonna cast another One Ring here. I think a cycle One Ring. Have to do. Okay, that's fine. Do I die? Maybe. Go to 7. Close. They can sign and blood me. But they might demo field me. Yeah. Okay. But this deck does One Ring into Shielded, so we said it was happening. Pretty fucking typical. Pretty typical to see. Good coffee. They're sideboarding. Yep, they run 4 One Rings, 4 Shielded. I mean, that's very common to see. They usually have the both cards. All Mono Black cares about is Shielded One Ring Orcish Bowmasters. 3 most played cards in the fucking format. Not that good. 1 card here. This is really bad against Thoughtseize. Mulligan again, I think. Man, tough. Okay, that's just got it. Best we're gonna get with 5. They're more than likely just gonna rip something from my hand this turn, so. Nice, they didn't. That's cool. Hit something good. Nope. We got an otherworldly. That's pretty good. We got a smoke too. The smoke's like the worst of the cards against Bowmasters, which they have in hand right now. Guaranteed. Sure, why not? Gonna exile it either way. That's pretty good. I think I already drew. Yeah, so I already drew. Actually, I don't know why I would. Yeah, let's just keep that on top, right? Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to put that in the graveyard. And then I can draw it at their end step. And I have a smote to, or a haywire to activate smote here. Could be worse. Got some decent pressure. I mean, I have my island in hand. That feels really bad. That also feels really bad. Wondering, like 98% fucking certain. I mean, that's the problem. This deck is just Wondering or Shielded on turn 4. There's so many turn 4 cards. Who knows? They might kill themselves. Oh wow. Okay. I have a Bloodghast. I don't. I'm gonna try to hit a Bloodghast. He narked me, but did I hit a Bloodghast? Did. Is that lethal? That should be lethal. Unless they remove something here. Alright. Lethal? So they get rid of Prize Amalgam. Sure, Prize Amalgam's gonna trigger at their end step, but that gets around their hate. I'm fine with that. I'm gonna leave the land up for both drawing purposes, but also to exile Haywire when I need it. Okay, so there's a Prize Amalgam trigger at their end step, so if they wipe the board, I still can wipe Amalgam. Yeah, that's fine. I'm also going to trigger target non-creature artifact or non-creature. I can't do that. So, fine. Trigger Smote too. So they both come back? Nice. Alright. Got there. See if we're top. Almost top 1,000 again. Not good enough. Still not good. Okay. Haunted Dead. Go in there. Ugh. As weird as that sounds, kind of want to keep Prize Amalgams in case I hit another Haunted Dead with Otherworldly. And I drew the Archimiva, man. We're gonna keep Grizzly on top there. Fixing our draws here. Okay, so next turn we get Blood Gas prize back. They combo in hard. Combo Wamba. What the hell is this deck? Oh, alright. So, question is, do I want to just hard cast Amalgam here? I think I do. Next turn, I just want a blocker, something to stem the bleeding. Next turn, I can start thinking about gazes and stuff, so I might just put a hold step on my upkeep. Hold stop. Yeah, they just go completely off and bonkers with these cards. Feeling like a massive amount of cards out of the deck. Muxus? Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and go to next game. We're never coming out of that. They have Muxus that turn too. Gross. Gross. Not sure how to fight this deck. I think I need some Haywires to answer Goblin Influx, or I just need to be like proactive, like fighting in the sense of turning right, swinging. I got one Haunted Dead. Yeah, just Haywire might just in case they bring in something to hate against me. Really, I just want to stick to my game plan here. This is a weird deck. They're racing me, and they I think have a faster deck than I do. But it's more resilient to removal or something like opponents play, where my deck is very resilient to removal and hand hates. Oh man, I think we have to keep mulliganing down. Sucks. And his deck mulligans really well, but it also mulligans into really shitty hands sometimes. So if I have a decent opening hand, I'm gonna keep it, unless I'm really trying to just unless I'm like on the draw and I need to be faster. Cool. Nice. We want to keep Itcher Supplier. Kind of. It feels it's a good blocker. And it feels our graveyard more. And so really what they're gonna do here, they're gonna want to sacrifice their Trap Finder to us, whatever that one drop is that sacrifices your creature, your goblins for 1 red. Let's see. All right, we're gonna do this. Yeah, let's do this first. Maybe we should just attack first. That's what we're gonna do. Swing. We're on a race with this deck, so anything we can do to erase them is exactly what we need to be doing. Can you throw in great cards in the graveyard? So it didn't have anything that we wanted to there. We're gonna stop on our upkeep. So I'm pretty sure they're about to combo next turn. Wow, okay. I want lamps. So Bloodguests have haste now. I think I just want to, yeah. Right, yeah. Swing. I have to block. Trap Finder goes and finds what it needs to, because it wants to die. They probably keep Horde around. I think they can't. They die. So they have to block something here, which is really good. I'm glad that Horde is dying. End of your next turn. So that's pretty good. I can hit one more Creeping Chill and then pretty likely with yeah, let's get it. I got it. Alright, cool. We raced, and we won the race. Being on the play is very important in this deck. Alright, game 3. So, we really just need to be doing the same thing. I like the idea of Haywire hitting their Cabretti. I think this is fine. Pithing Needle answers their miner dude, which is how they get so much mana so quickly. I don't think it's worth it bringing it in. I think that's good. I'm just going to run it back and try to race. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully our opening hand is gas. We could just gas them. But okay, I'm gonna keep it. Unfortunately, we don't have a green source, but we're gonna try to otherworldly into a green source. And if we don't have a green source, we just founding into Grizzly as well. So it kind of depends on a couple things. They mulligan down to 6. Okay, that's good for us. Pass their little skirt. That was what the card I was trying to get the name of. Okay. What do we get? What do we get? So, really? I mean, we like a green source here? We don't have to have a green source? Okay. Ah, man. Haywire is so good. I want to draw Haywire. And then I'm going to mill that anyways, right? Yeah. Haywire can't kill. Reddy's not in there yet. I think Reddy's really good, but it's not a target yet. Do we care? Do we just want to draw a green source? I think we do. I think we just want to draw a green source here. And it's another land for gas, so a couple different reasons. Need to glimpse myself next turn, so I'm gonna founding glimpse. It's gonna be pretty good. Ah, you gotta be kidding me. Man. Great. Okay, now what do we do? I think instead of glimpse, we Grizzly. And we force them. We have to force their hand to exile shit. So we're gonna force them to exile our graveyard with only a little bit of things in it. And honestly, if we hit another Haywire, we can pressure their Soul Guide. Well, cool. We have a land in hand. I think we take the supplier because right now we want to force them to crack this without getting too much value. And they might this turn. They might. There's enough in there, I think, that it might be beneficial for them to crack. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. That's what we want. That's fine. That's fine. Unless they have another one, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But that's the thing about this deck and hate against this deck. It shuts it down quick, but there are a lot of answers to answer their hate. And there are ways to play around it too, so. Okay, so they are limited on their cards now too. They will have a den coming soon. And luckily I can get cards in my graveyard before the third ability triggers. I'm about to glimpse myself. Alright, got a Narcomoeba. There's a couple things we could do here. We could Haunted Dead, discarding Smotes. Try to hit a Glimpse next turn. Or a Creeping Chill next turn. But we really, actually, we want to get Glimpse into the graveyard for Founding. So we're going to Glimpse ourselves. Okay, good, good. Good, good. And now this life gain is pretty critical here. Cool. Nice. You have a Bloodghast? Yes. Trigger. Probably, I'm gonna Stitchers this turn. Gets another blocker out, an effective blocker at that. Swing back next turn, pretty large. And if we had another Malcolm, I mean that triggers at the end of their step, so that's dope too. Good. Got Smotes coming in. We got around their hate. You know, they cracked it way early. I wanted them to crack it on the battlefield, or the graveyard I had there. But effectively, you could play around the hate by, you know, not overextending and not just loading the graveyard and they just eat it. You know, having another card in your hand to continue to load it if they do eat it. And also bringing in good sideboard answers like Haywire, which is good against a lot of cards in this format. They are going to go off quickly soon. So we probably have 1 or 2 turns here. We've hit 2 Creeping Chills already, I think. Yeah. Finder comes in. I think they sack it. Try to find their combo piece. Okay, we're about to see what they do here. Gonna sack some things. They're gonna sack Matron. Trap Finder's free. No, it's not. They're gonna sack Matron, cast Trap Finder, sack Trap Finder, do something else. Shooting Smote, shooting an Narcomoeba. Nice. Probably their better. I don't know. Smote's pretty good here too. I think I'd probably rather get rid of Smote. You're gonna get rid of that now? Find themselves something great? Okay, it's a pretty good attempt from them to stay in the game. Not over, it never was, but oh, another major. Keep cycling their cards. Continue cycling Trap Finder Matron. Eventually. You can continue doing it every turn, I believe. Claims that common from, isn't it a common? I think it is. Right? It became pretty much unplayable to like the core card in this deck. I think they're gonna continue to crack shit, shoot things, which is cool, but whatever. Shoot Bloodghast for the Stitcher supplier. God damn it. They've been effectively removing a lot of creatures, but they are going to run out of gas unless they draw more gas. This turn is their big turn. I thought they were going to have a better combo turn, to be honest. They're up to 2 mana. What are they doing with that mana? Are they just shooting for the fuck of it? Okay, well you just now allowed me to... Okay. I'm going to definitely block. Hit something like Creeping Chill, get wrecked, probably. On. Yeah, right? There it is, Creeping Chill. Oh! And now Bloodghast have haste, which is very important. Yeah, just swing into that blocker that I love you swinging into. Stitcher Supplier, so fucking good against aggro deck. What's up? We have a smoke. I think it's it might be game. If we hit another... No, it's not game. Almost game. Yeah, it might be game. We hit another Creeping Chill on the top 10 cards here. Middle 10, play 7 dudes, gain a fuckload of life. I think that's game now. They have to block with their Skirk. So they're, unless they draw the gassiest gas next turn, I think we get there. Boom. 6. Now they have to block. Do we have 2 Bloodghast? Oh, we're so freaking close, guys. We're so freaking close. Oh, we do have 2 Bloodghast. I only saw 1. That's game. Sweet. Nah, I don't think that's game. Actually, he can just sack shit. Forgot. He can kill these Bloodghasts. Yeah, he's gonna have to kill the Blood. I think he's gonna have to block, sack both of his Goblin, or sack itself. Sack. Yeah, they're gonna have to do a lot here. I think they can sack quite a few different things here and stay alive, and then still be able to do something next turn. So they're alive. They're definitely alive. They have to shoot the things that recur, so it's always really good. Shooting the Bloodghast, yeah. And then they live. They do live here. Down to 1. I kind of want to get these smotes. Actually, I can't. If I get these smotes out of my hand, it's bad because I don't have any more Creeping Chills to trigger them. So I think Otherworldly is better here to fix my draws, and then hope they don't draw something extremely nuts. I don't know. Do I want to mill over? Much, right? I have 1 Bloodghast in the exile, 1 Bloodghast in the field, and 1 in the yard, meaning I still have 1 to go. I think I'm going to try to dig for Bloodghast to make sure I get a haste card. From our smokes. That came back from the Creeping Chill last turn. Or from their turn. So if they didn't draw gas, they'd lose. I mean, they could have drawn something. I know this Goblin deck can absolutely go off if it draws correct. If you're watching, appreciate you watching. Thank you. Hit that follow button to really help out. We're trying to get to 75 followers here. That'd be really sweet to hit a point where I could potentially start getting subs. I create content full-time for a living, not Magic. Magic's more of a side hobby. But if you go to my other channels in the About Me section, you can find our other pages, which we make money off of. That's what we do full-time, is we travel in a school bus that you can see. I'm in a school bus. We're full-time, my wife and I, and 2 dogs. And we travel around North America for the living, which is pretty sweet. I'm gonna pay 2 life. I want to do a couple things this turn. I think they lose, no matter what. Yeah, appreciate the follows. We're actually testing our new follower. Wait, this way. We're testing our new follower. It's called a mod or whatever it is, bot. So it kind of comes up on the screen. Yesterday the font was too small, so the next follower would be cool to kind of see what that looks like now. I adjusted the font to make it bigger so you guys can see like followers. Victory! All right, 9:15. Pretty shitty. This is actually, I could, I need a, yeah. I'm gonna filter my draw so that I could make sure I draw a land next turn. And have enough to do things with, even though it's not a black source land. It allows me to do stuff. There are gates, like, or they have Primeval Titan decks are playing this. Yeah, they're gates. Okay. Casting another Otherworldly isn't that bad here. I think it might be better than getting into a Stitchers. Even getting Sultai, I mean, yeah, I'm not Sultai, I'm not Demir, I'm Sultai. Thank you for the correction, Edward. I am Sultai. We took out red, because we had Ox of Agonist, Faithless Looting in the first version of this deck. Took that all out. They felt weak. Ox came out almost every game because Bowmaster shits all over Ox. Faithless, same way. Shieldred sucks, or Faithless sucks against Shieldred, as well as Bowmasters. So now we've gone more the Sultai right, specifically for what Nightbird said, is Salvage and Might are two very important cards. Might is like the key card to answer almost every card you hate in the format, in the sense of against your like Dredge deck. They're gonna go. I mean, I don't like this deck either. It's annoying. This Primeval Titan deck, this Gates deck is very strong. Drawing a Creeping Chill here blows ass. A lot of trouble. We need to hit some sort of a gas soon. Like a land would be very good even. Trigger both Prized Amalgams. See, this is where Stitcher Supplier isn't good. It just swings into an 0-3, doesn't ever die. Probably going to take Stitchers out of this matchup. I played this matchup like twice. I've won against it. I think 1-1 because Primeval Titan is gross. I'm going to find out it's a good card. I don't know if anybody knew that, but right now they're Circassious Route into their Primeval Titans probably next turn. I mean, I think they run one Hydra too. Maze's End, they obviously are going to be putting that in soon. So Baldur's Gate will, one of these finds, or Maze's End, yeah. I mean, these cards are lame. See, these are the cards I don't like. These little alchemy only cards. This shit is so lame. Like, what the fuck is this? Seeking cards? It's the reason I don't like Historic. I could like it a lot more. We are literally drawing so stupidly dead right now. The next turn they cast Titan, get their gates that they need. This turn after they do it again and they win. So tough deck, great deck right now. It just ignores everything anybody else is doing. Maze's End is very good against like One Ring. It just doesn't care. It's good against Shieldred. Again, it doesn't care about Shieldred. Doesn't care about Bowmasters. Just wants to do what it wants to do, and unless you're interacting with the lands or like Field of Ruining them constantly, they're gonna continue. They're gonna eventually win, inevitably. Okay. See what they're doing here. Gates of Blaze. Okay. Well, they kill their 2 blockers, so that's cool. But they leave themselves a mana. Then they could use that to heal up layer. Cast a big old ram. Alright. So first things first, let's ditch your supplier. Then we will land to get our blood gas. Hey, we're in an uphill battle here. They have a 7-7 coming across the field right now. But we're already on a 2-turn clock. I kind of want to just get their Narcomoebas out of my hand. I don't think they serve me any purpose here. I need to be applying as much pressure as I can here. Alright. We're on a 2-turn clock. Yeah, I did. You can use the rest of it. Cool. I got some returning viewers, so somebody like enjoys somewhat watching me, I guess. They almost came in right when I started. We're getting there. Nightbird, I appreciate you. You were my 10th, 11th, 12th. You were my 10th. Oops, my 10th follower. You'll always be my 10th, always. Alright, blocking the Stitchers, and then they have Worm Coil, which makes shit even worse for us. This is probably over. Ugh, Worm Coil engine. Really good against me. Really good. We are basically dead here. Alright, yeah. We're just gonna quietly go into game number 2. Alright, what in the all hell is that, though? Okay, well, we Pithing Needle. Can I name a land? Yeah, we're gonna Pithing Needle against their Maze's End. Damn right. I don't have metal music playing right now. I'm sorry. That'll be coming up once I play another like match, and then the tube recording is over. Then I can just stream some shit, music and stuff. Haunted Dead here. I think it's too slow. Grizzly Salvage is pretty good because I can get my Haywire Mites to answer their Worm Coils. I think I might be over sideboarding though, so I'm gonna cut down on. Pithing Needle's really good here because it just shuts down their Maze's End, but it doesn't shut down their Worm Coils or their freaking Gatebreaker Rams that just shit on me. So maybe I take that out and I erase their Maze's End and I just keep my mites in. That might be good. We'll do that, see what happens. Damn right. You like Trailer Park Boys too. You know my dogs. You have more quotes than I have off the back of my hand. I mean, I know a lot of Trailer Park Boy quotes, but shitting them off the hip like that is respectable. You know what I mean? I think it's good enough. If you're viewing, appreciate you viewing. Got some new viewers in here. Hit that follow button. Would really appreciate it. We're just chilling in here, making some YouTube content right now, but we're gonna get into just some streaming with music after this, probably this match or the next. Okay. So Stitchers was usually going to come out there, but the Ram and makes me want to keep it in. And same with Gates Ablaze because it'll trigger, obviously with Gates. The way of the road. The way of the road. Just the way she goes. The way she goes, Julian. What a fucking great show. Alright, we trigger our smoke. No, so what I should do... Oh, it's a great idea. Fuck me, what am I thinking? Good idea, Nightbird. Oh my gosh, she just... we're going to add a quick clip for new followers of like the best Trailer Park Boys quote. In like a raid maybe even. So use like media from like a snippet from a quote from TPP. That's obviously the greatest show of all time. So we're going to do that. Writing that down. So when people like, or if I want to do something, I can like just play it in this background, like fucking hilarious. My stupid humor. All right, let's see. A glimpse is good here. I think we just want to, if we hit 2 creeping chills, which is not too high of a probability, we can get blood gas with haste. So we have 2 creeping chills and blood gas, but I think it's worth trying. So we hit 1 creeping chill, 2 blood gas. Really close. So if we would have hit a second creeping chill, we would have had a gnarly swing there. Since we don't... since we don't have... I mean, I think we're... They're going to Gates Ablaze next turn. So I'm going to Stitchers. Figure all 3 of those. And I'm going to Stitchers. So if they do wipe the board, I fill my graveyard with 6 more cards. I can bring back my blood gas with Underground, so we're okay. The way of the road, Ricky. The way of the road. Who would have guessed that they would cast Gates Ablaze? Nobody. Nobody would have fucking guessed. They're dead. Hit a creeping chill, and they're dead. Oh. Damn. We're going to try to hit our other blood gas. Oh, our creeping chill, that's game. Alright, cool. Alright, that'll be game. We got 3 blood gas coming out with haste. Alright, game number 3. Game number 3. I think I like the way I sideboard it. But we're going to do that again. Alright, let's try to get this win. 3-0 for the tube. 3-0 for the tube. Let's do it. We win this, we'll just cut it there with the tube and then go to stream, because that's really just want to show this deck can fight multiple different decks and hate. This is good enough. I don't have a green source, so that blows. Having a glimpse and a Stitcher, I think is good enough. And then Grizzly, we could probably draw a green source eventually. Okay, so that's good draw. Glimpse is a very good draw. We want all the glimpses we can in our hand. Yeah, so I'm gonna get a second camera too, and eventually have like set up somewhere to where it can see where we're at, because we're always in the middle of nowhere. So like having a second camera just to like kind of bounce off of and say, you know, hey, and we're here right now and what we're doing. Kind of cool. All right, actually, do we want to make sure we draw into a green source? Do we care right now? Or do we want to do that on our step next turn? I think we do that on our next upkeep. Really want to just start putting things in the graveyard right now. Good. Okay, alright. Not hitting as much as we want. Actually, I want to just Grizzly salvage, or I want to glimpse again. They're racing us quickly. If they have Primeval, we come out too slow right now. Okay, Arboreal into a Circassious route. So their turn 3, casting this. Turn 4, they cast Primeval Titan. It's pretty hard to beat. Chris. Okay, not what we wanted to draw, but it is a land. So it could be worse. Still hit our Blood Gusts. Nice. Double Creeping Chills. Or 1 Creeping Chill. Into a Smoot. Big action here. Yeah. Haywire? Haywire triggers Silver Smokes. It'd be really cool if those didn't enter the battlefield tap. That'd be probably broken, but yeah, it would be broken. Primeval Titan. Really kind of annoying. They wipe us on an otherworldly into a land. And Smite triggers Smote, so if they wipe us, Smite's just going to trigger the Smotes again and trigger the Amalgam. It's just this deck is pretty darn resilient to board wipes, but depends what they do here. They can probably just crap all over us right now, because they can do Gates of Blaze into Primeval. No, they can't. Okay, so they are short of mana. They played that this turn, yeah. Maybe not. Nice. Okay, more gates. Ricky, stop barking. Alright, sorry, my mute was mic'd. My fucking dog is Barker. We're going to hit a Nurturing, then we're going to hit all those. Okay. They're saying nice because unless they have a Titan in hand, this game is looking pretty good for us. If they have a Titan in hand, it's still going to be... Because they can get 2 gain life gates and gain 6 life. So they get a 17, and then they do that again the next turn. See if they draw anything here. They can Gates Ablaze. That would slow me down a lot. Like a lot. Gates Ablaze, I want to otherworldly upkeep, so I'm going to continue to hold my step on the upkeep. Okay, so there goes 8 mana. They're going to seek some cards. I do have the Titan. Oh my gosh. Titan was in their hand. Wonder if they just drew it. And they gotta do a lot of damage. I mean, they have to win with Maze's End, so they need to get their 2 land gains. Yeah, 2 life gains here. Yep. Yep. They had to do. They're gonna seek a card. Oh, yep. On land. 3 mana card. They got something. First file. Fine. Land down. Fine. Seek another card. Okay, so let's measure this out before we go do shit. There we have another Bloodghast in the battlefield, in the graveyard. Okay, so they have no cards in hand. So they block. They go take 9, 12, 15. They die anyways. Okay, so we're just gonna do this regardless. Okay, good game. They've lost. I'm like 98% sure of it. And I'm gonna draw. How many graveyard cards we have? All right, we're gonna do that. Yep. Put those two in. Draw the glimpse. Cast the glimpse. Put a nurturing in. Trigger any remaining blood guests we have. Kill them. Down to 3. That's fine. We don't care if we're at 3. Yeah, and we hit both of our blood guests. Yeah, that's game. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Getting that another win. Getting under 900, I think. There we go. 3 cards left in the graveyard. That's what I was talking about. If you don't win quick enough with this deck, you'll just mill yourself out. Oh, they don't have... Oh, fuck. I think they still lose. Yeah. Bloodghast was supposed to have haste there. I didn't think of it. But concept was still there, that this deck is very resilient. And I am going to do what I said I was going to do at the beginning of the stream and cut down on an Ancient Grudge and go up on a Pithing Needle. I think it's very important to have Needle to answer Skooz and Yawgmoth and all the cards that you don't have removal for. Pithing Needle is a great catch-all. It answers Nuisance Planeswalkers. It answers Kethis. It answers a lot of these decks that we need to answer, and we can't answer easily because we don't have any interaction. And one problem about Dredge has always been notorious for not having interaction main board because it wants to stick to its game plan. Sideboard, you're usually bringing in some answers, and you're hoping to have one of those answers in your opening hand because you're usually milling those answers over throughout the game, unless they have flashback. Pithing Needle, for example, you want to draw into that. You can fix your draws with Otherworldly Gaze. You can draw into Needle that way, or you can have it in your opening hand. I think that's really, why I think I should run 3, because I want to have a better chance of having an opening hand when I'm playing against the decks that I have to have a Needle to slow that opponent's deck down. If the opponent is ignoring me and doing what they want to do, usually that's going to be a tough matchup for me because my deck does not interact. It's just racing, whereas their deck, they want to do the same thing. At that point, it becomes who hits the combo first, who gets the cards they need put together and plays first. Pithing Needle is a great sideboard answer as a 1-mana answer to a lot of those really pain in the ass cards that I can't get rid of, or or one of my other sideboard cards as an answer. So, hope you enjoyed the stream. Please hit that follow button, subscribe if you like historic videos and you like just Magic in general. I'm going to expand outside of historic eventually. We're going to expand the channel as we grow it. And if you want to watch me live, follow me on Kick. The link is in my bio. Appreciate you joining.